Be riding, leave out my daddy. Slinging on the guy, tats on my body. Carrots shot it with a red bean batty. Women call me Poppy. Niggas call me Mr. Hit 'em, get 'em. Or just bad motherfucker because I'm quick to spit 'em. Dismissal, I beat the total living. Somebody get 'em. If I put this in a minute, I just wanna hit 'em. Hey, what's up, everybody, man? This your boy Black Sean Groove, man. Street Culture Entertainment, Street Culture TV. Before I start, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, man. Also, y'all leave y'all comments, man. I know I've been gone for a second, man, but a lot of y'all know I'm a traveling road worker. And so they have me going to different states and shit like that. And I be busting 12-hour shifts 6 days a week. So sometimes when I come home, I don't be feeling like doing shit. And they've been busting my ass for the last few months. And also excuse the swelling in my face, man. I got an abscess in my tooth, man. It's hurting like a motherfucker, but I'm still fit to work this shit. Because I didn't know how many of y'all really fuck with me, man. And a lot of people been wanting me to drop this video about Billboard's top 50 rap groups of all times, just like I did with the top 50 rappers of all time. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this for y'all, man. Know what I'm saying? I'm finna let y'all know I'm finna start back being consistent, man. Know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a position where I can start being consistent again, man. Also, I want to say RIP to Big Pokey, man, from the Screwed Up Click, man. We love you, man, straight up. This screw right here, but I'm saying the Screwed Up Click, man. We love you, man. You know what I'm saying? We praying for your family, man. And just want to say, man, we gonna miss you, man. You was a legend in Houston and you was a staple in Texas, man. Okay, now, the controversy of the Billboard's top 50 rap groups of all time has been a real hot subject for the last week because everybody doesn't agree with the list as a whole. But I want people to realize, you got to realize now, music is subjective from person to person, which means it varies from person to person. And also, these lists are made by people who are not of the culture, and most of them don't even much come from the culture, so that they don't understand the impact of some of these groups. They just understand album sales and visibility. So, with that being said, I'm gonna start off right now from 50 to 41. Part 2 of the video gonna be from 40 to 31. So y'all holler at me. Okay, first off on the group we got MOP, Mash Out Posse. For the people that don't know Mash Out Posse, that's your boy Lil Fame and your boy William Dance out of Brownsville, Brooklyn. Y'all know who they are from. They got one of the most recognizable hits in the world called Annie Up. Y'all remember the song Annie Up? That's one of those songs you can play anywhere in the world. I've looked at videos and seen that song being played in Germany and everything, and people know it word for word. But they came to my attention when they came out back in 96, 97 with a song called How About Some Hardcore. And it was basically touching on all the soft rap that was going on. Where's the rap for street niggas? You know what I'm saying? They also was signed to Rockefeller for a little bit, and after that they signed to G Unit. I haven't heard much from them then, but I know they got a heavy fan base and they got people that's been following them since back in the day. They're at number 50. And I'm gonna say they didn't have a big impact except for the song Annie Up, but I feel like they need to be further up in this list, at least in the low 40s, for the simple fact that they got a hit that's not gonna die. I believe 20 years from now you're gonna be able to play Annie Up somewhere and people are gonna know that song. Our kids gonna know that song. Sick. Okay, 49. You got Black Star, which is a group that consists of Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Now, I think they were placed on here because they only had one album called Black Thought. And no, not Black Thought. I'm sorry. I can't think of the name of the album right now, and it's on the tip of my tongue. But they only dropped one album. But Mos Def has had a lot of success by itself, so has Talib Kweli, as far as hip hop goes. Now, I'm going to accept this placement on the list because they only dropped one album as a group. But both of these individuals are very lyrical. These dudes can spit. They can spit with some of the best of them. I'm talking about I can put them up against one of your favorite rappers right now, and they'll probably destroy them lyrically, just to be honest with you. Okay, 48. This is why I got the problem. 48, you got City Girls. Now, I don't know how they ended up in top 50 all time. I really don't know that because you got other groups that are not even in here, and they're not even put on this list. But City Girls is Young Miami and JT.
If y'all don't know, they the girls from Miami. They basically make the ratchet music. But I'm finna look at this with an open mind and not be biased. They make the ratchet music, but they successful. They got their lane. They got a lot of fans. They got a big ass fan base. They get a lot of streams. They get a lot of attention. And one of them has a podcast. The one named Carisha. I don't know which one that is because I don't pay attention to them like that. But I know over the last maybe 3 to 4 summers, these girls been hot as hell. Now, I'm gonna say this. I don't consider them greats by far. But with the success they've been having in the fan base they got, I believe in another, they keep this up for another, I say, maybe 4 years, then you can put them in legendary status as far as group goes. So I'm going to say this is the one I will avoid. 47 is Ray Shremmerd, the little cats from Mobile, Alabama that sung No Flex Zone. They had their string of hits, No Flex Zone, Power Drive. They had a few songs, man. No Type, shit like that. Or if I'm not mistaken, they came out with 2013-ish, 2014-ish. And I know the one dude from the group named Sway Lee has a lot of success solo. I don't know about the other dude. I forgot his name. But I wouldn't place them at number 47. I would maybe put them at 50. Because these little cats have had a lot of success and they done had some longevity in the game. They've been in the game now they've been in the game now about 10 years with nothing but success. So there's nothing I can't take away from them. 46, Yin Yang Twins. That's another group that I wasn't a big fan of, but I can recognize their greatness because they had a lot of success, especially when they linked up with Lil Jon. If y'all don't know who Yin Yang Twins is, they two cats, Dre and I can't think of the other one's name. They from Atlanta, Georgia, College Park area, if I'm not mistaken. Now correct me if I'm wrong, man. I think they from College Park. But they came out with Whistle While You Twerk, Salt Shaker, Get Low with Lil Jon. Y'all remember the Yin Yang Twins, man. Y'all remember they was doing that, man. Yin Yang was on fire for a good 2 to 3 years. I'm talking about killing everything they touched. And they were more on a party vibe. The Whisper song, they had the Whisper song, which was successful. So I'm going to accept their placement as number 46 because for a while, well, I think I would put them, me personally, I wouldn't have put them in this because they didn't really have the longevity and the impact that most great groups have, but they did put a dent in the game. So I'm going to give them that. Okay, 46, Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Now, this is where I got another problem. How do you put them at 45? When they made one of the greatest songs of all time, not one of the greatest rap songs of all times, one of the greatest songs of all times with They Reminisce Over You. TROY, Trouble T, a dedication to Trouble T. Roy. Y'all remember that because it's going to tie in at number 42, Trouble T. Roy. If y'all don't know, P Rock and CL Smooth are a group from New York. I can't remember exactly where they from in New York. But the first album I ever heard by them when I was young was called Mecca and the Soul Brother. And that album, like, totally changed my perception of how I look at rap, how I look at lyrics, lyricism and shit. That was an album that let me know, like, I didn't just have to listen to gangster shit all the time. Like, I can listen to, it's still good rappers that didn't talk about gangster shit. And Pete Rock himself has produced some of the most classic music, some of the most classic hip hop songs of all times. He's produced some of the greatest rappers of all times. So I would have placed them more in the 30s, just on the impact of the song They Reminisce Over You, and how I can play that song right now and people will sing along with that song. Like, I still play that song, and when somebody in my car with me when I play it, they sing along with it. Number 44 is Criss Cross. I would have put, I'm not gonna lie, I would have put Criss Cross in the 30s, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Criss Cross had one of the biggest impacts I ever seen in rap. When I was 10 or 11 years old and Criss Cross came out, man, they had all of us wearing our clothes backwards, nigga. All of us had to totally cross that tape, nigga. All of us were running around singing Jump and Warm It Up and I Missed the Bus. Nigga, it's a shame. Nigga, them niggas was out on a different world and shit. Know what I'm saying? Even they later shit with jamming Young Rich and Dangerous with Tonight's the Night on there, and my favorite song by them, Live and Die for Hip Hop with the Brat and the Leo on there. Man, that's one of the coldest songs, but I love that song. But Criss Cross had an impact. They didn't last long like we thought. They lasted about 4 to 5 year span, which is really a long life in music, really, when you think about it, 4 to 5 years. But their impact was so hard that you couldn't forget about them. Like some of the shit they do and say, they did and say still gets spoken on today in music. Like if you listen to a song by Nipsey Hussle called Hustles in the House, he sampled Jump by Criss Cross. So just a little gem for y'all. Kid and Play is at number 43. I'm going to accept them at number 43 because they were more of a party-oriented group, have a good time, dance. But they also were one of the first groups to venture off into films and TV and cartoon, because I remember they had a cartoon used to come on Saturday morning when I was growing up and everything. So I'm going to accept their placement. Really, I would have placed them in the 30s because they had an impact, man. But I'm going to ahead and accept that one. Now, this is where Trouble T. Roy from P Rock and CL Smooth ties in. Number 42, Heavy D and the Boys. If for y'all that don't know, Heavy D was a rapper from New York. I think he was the first big guy that was a sex symbol in rap, because he can dance, he can move. He was a handsome guy. Women liked him. He was nice. He wasn't a dog, you know what I'm saying? And his group member, the Boys, they weren't really rappers, but they helped write, they helped them write lyrics. They helped them with choruses. But their main thing was they were the background dancers. They were the entertainment. Back when we were coming up, you had rappers that had background dancers that were part of their group, and it was necessary because that was the entertainment. That's what drew people. And Trouble T. Roy was one of the group members, and during a horse plant accident, he jumped off a bridge thinking it was, grass on the other side, and it was really a drop, and he died. And Trouble T. Roy was a dude who was respected and loved by everybody. He wasn't a street cat, but he was loved by everybody because he was a genuine dude. And that's where the song They Reminisce Over You comes from. It comes from the death of Trouble T. Roy, T-R-O-Y. They reminisce over you. I feel like Heavy D was one of the first big guys to be a sex symbol that can actually spit, kick lyrics, and draw in all types of crowds. So I would have put him in the early 30s, late 20s. I feel like this placement ain't right for him. Okay, now number 41 is a group called Little Brother. I remember them. They're from South Carolina. They had a good song I used to like called Loving It. One of their group members was actually a producer, and I can't think of his name. But he was a damn good producer because he went on to produce by himself. And they dropped a string of albums, but all of their albums weren't very successful like that. They weren't good. They were good. They can rap. They were good, but they weren't successful like that. And they really didn't have an impact. They really didn't have an impact like you would think. And if y'all see this group from 40 to 31, y'all will be like, how the fuck Little Brother end up 41, but these other groups are lower than them? The shit crazy, man. But like I say, y'all got to recognize this is by people not of the culture. You know what I'm saying? They're not of the culture, and most of them sit in the office and just look at Billboard all day. That's what they do. They don't come to the streets and ask who they fuck with, or they don't do no census and shit like they do when they call the house and say how many motherfuckers in your house. So with that being said, man, that was my sum up of the first part of the top 50 groups from 50 to 41. I'm going to give y'all my opinion on 40 to 31 in a day or two. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and y'all also comment, man. And I also appreciate the people that fuck with me and wanted me to do this video, man. I appreciate y'all. I ain't know y'all fucked with me like that, man, but I'm going to start being back consistent for y'all, man. That's on everything, man, straight up. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. I'm Black Sean Groove, man.